Now, to our conversation. So a young man came by to have a conversation with me, and I asked him, can we discuss this on Home Affairs? And in fact, that is why he came. So here's his, story. His mother had to drop out of JHS 2. That's when she realized that she was pregnant. Indeed, it was with a classmate, okay? And he agreed that he was responsible for the pregnancy. I mean, when they were questioned, he knew that he had done something with this young man. He had young woman, he had professed his love to her. So yes, he agreed. And as young as they were at age 18 and 19, the boy was 19, she 18, the boy owned up. But somehow, he passed on even before the little boy was born, so we won't go into the details of that. And everything was left to her to deal with. Of course, they come from very poor backgrounds, and so she had to fend for her pregnancy. Dropped out of school, will do menial jobs to make sure she's eating until she delivered the child. And again, it was her responsibility to take care of the child, to the extent that she had to be thrown out of home. Go and take care of your child, you brought this upon yourself. And so, yes, you know how these things happen. Today you are sleeping on the streets, tomorrow you find some kiosk somewhere, tomorrow, and all the while she was determined to give her son, the life that she could give him. So this story is from the perspective of this man who came by Joy FM to have this conversation with me. I mean, when he told me that, Adam, I could recount the days that my mother would pick me up from school, and she has piles of things to wash for people. So she will hold my hand, we'll go to somebody's house, I'll be seated somewhere on the compound, trying to do my homework, and then probably she gives me some gari soakings and I am eating, and she's washing. By the time they are done in the night, she's given some money, they go out there, she buys kinky, and then they now go and sleep in their kiosk. That was their life. Their mother did his mother did just anything she could just to be able to give him, life. And by the grace of God, he says that he is a brilliant child. So every step of the way, he followed her mother. He said he was a good boy, and you can tell. And gradually, he's a big boy now. Got a good place to stay. And then asked the mother to come and live, because they've been together. So I move in with my mother, and we're living well. I am working. Now I am able to put some good clothes on her, and she's comfortable. We eat well, we sleep well, and all that. And then I've got to marry. He's come of age. He's 34 now, and then decided to settle down because he met a girl, and this is his first girl ever, and told his mom. And mommy was like, it's okay, you're growing, so yes, you can marry, but just make sure that the bond between us, we maintain it and all that. It's like, mommy, you have been everything to me, so nothing is going to happen to us. Brings the girl home. The girl knows the story and knows what she is up against. Eventually, marriage happens, and then I bring my wife home, but my mom is living with us. So the television, the movies, he used to watch with his mother, right? They did everything together because that has been their life. Now I am married. There are times that I want to sit and just watch TV with my wife. And when that happens, even if it's the three of them sitting there, mother will just quietly get up and then go into her room. Sometimes you go and find her crying. She's feeling abandoned. From what this gentleman tells me, let me just call him Kofi. From what Kofi tells me, not that his mother wants to destroy his marriage, but it's just the bond that exists between them from childhood. And if you have been following the story, and sometimes she'll get up, she'll clean the house, she'll cook. I mean, just as they were doing. By the time my wife wants to do something for me, my mother has already done it, and all of those things. His wife is not complaining, but he knows that it is not the right thing. They went through counseling and all that, so he knows it is not the right thing. How do I approach this matter? Then one day he said, okay. He had a conversation with his mother and told her that I'd want to rent a place for you, a good place, get you help, everything you need, not too far away from me. I will visit you. You can visit anytime. But it's just so that my wife and I will be able to grow together also and bond and start building a family. You will be my mother. And the woman says, because you're married now and you have another person as companion, you want me to leave and go and be on my own? No problem. Rent the place for me. I will go. And that is his problem. This was not accepted in good faith. You can tell. You know the, you I have heard, I am going kind of thing. And the mother hasn't left the house yet, but he feels the tension. She's always in tears. She's always miserable. And that is his dilemma. Am I doing something wrong by asking my mother to go be on her own? I'm not abandoning her so I can build my home because I see all that is happening and it just might get worse. My wife, will she not be called names that because of her I left my mother? He has so much on his mind, and that's what we want to explore today on Home Affairs, that if you find yourself in such a situation, what do you do? What's the best thing to do?